Joel Fitzgibbon, good morning to you.
Good morning, Michael.
How bad was it for the Labor Party generally?
It was devastating on the wing, Michael. That weekend, that's the truth of it. A very bad result for the Labor Party. I mean, of course, Gladys Berejiklian is enjoying all the advantages of a COVID-induced incumbency advantage, but you know, our primary vote barely has a 2 in front of it, just above 20%. And that's a very bad sign for the Labor Party.
I want to get on to the federal implications shortly. Should the state Labor leader Jody McKay quit?
I don't believe so. I won't have a bad word said about Jody McKay. She looks good, sounds good, and she took the right narrative into the Upper Hunter by-election. She's very supportive of jobs and job security and issues like the local TAFE. But it's the brand, Michael. And a lot of our base walked away from us some time ago now, and it's clear that they haven't returned. You won't get them back quickly or easily. It takes time, and you've got to be very loud and clear in your commitment to them. The reality is, we heard it on the weekend, they are sceptical of us, if not suspicious. And of course, that suspicion is only fuelled by decisions made late or on the eve of the by-election to oppose the gas generator in the Hunter Valley, a $600 million investment. They just shake their heads and say, we thought so.
OK, so do you reckon that played into some of the vote against Labor in the state by-election?
Well, I had people coming up to me on the polling booths and they say, we don't believe you. And there's more evidence of that just recently when you oppose the gas-fired generator in our region. So we can say it, but we've got to do it, Michael. They say we believe not what you say, but what you do. And we've got a lot of work to do before we convince working people that we are on their side.
And there we go to the existential problem facing Labor. Joel Fitzgibbon, you've got voters in seats like Upper Hunter, voters in your federal seat of Hunter, relying on jobs from fossil fuel industries, but Labor also has to appeal to voters in the inner city who are dead set against any more fossil fuels and want greater attention on environmental matters. How does the Labor Party possibly bridge that divide?
It is a challenge, Michael, but it has been for a long time. It was one Kevin Rudd faced in 2007. This is not a new phenomenon. It was one that Anastasia faced only a number of months ago, but she showed us there is a model to appeal to both those bases, if you like. The Labor Party has a split base, a progressive base and the more traditional working class base, but it can be done.
What's her secret? I mean,
demonstrated it can be done.
How do you do it?
Well, you've got to be clear about where you stand for a start. Coal is our second biggest export, Michael, so it would be silly to suggest that the Labor Party does not support that export industry. The curious thing is that we do. Our national platform says that we do. We whisper that we do, but we're not saying it loudly enough. In the Upper Hunter on the weekend, 82% of people voted for a party that was supporting the coal mining industry. But they decided to go somewhere where they thought they could more trust the political party spruiking its support for coal. But, you know, the Labor Party has to speak as much about jobs and job security as it does about climate change. It needs to talk as much about hard-working people who get up and work hard every day as we do about those who justifiably need a helping hand. We need to tackle discrimination and racism and bigotry and all those terrible ills, but not in a way which threatens the rights of those, the overwhelming majority who do the right thing every day.
Is federal Labor capable of achieving this between now and the next election, which, as we know, could be as early as September, October this year?
Well, the reality is that we've demonstrated we can do it in the past. It's not as if we are up against a good government. Scott Morrison says he's going after Labor's blue-collar workers, but in the parliament over many years, he's demonstrated he's about just the opposite with industrial relations legislation in particular. Look what they did with casualisation in the coal mining industry only a matter of months ago.
But still, the blue-collar workers are flocking to the coalition. What do you do?
Well, we need to reinforce more strongly that the Labor Party, as has always been the case, it was what we were born to do, is standing behind those people who get up early every morning or go to work at night, work hard and expect a government to respect that and reward that not the other way around.
Joel Fitzgibbon at Parliament House in Canberra, thanks for your time this morning.
A pleasure, Michael.